G'day champs, this is Andy. I'm in Western Australia. Behind us we have the great Swan River, and essentially what I'm talking about today is the fact that there's a particular guy called Jon Sanders who went off to sail around the world. Now for you and I, none of us, well, not many of us anyway, have sailed around the world, and those that have in a class of their own. But Jon I put in a different class altogether, and the reason is this. He's onto his 11th circumnavigation solo, unassisted, around the world, except for the Panama Canal. And essentially what he's doing is he's sailing around the world when he's 80 years old. Now I don't know about you, but I haven't sailed around the world yet. I'm planning to do longer sails next year. I think essentially that Jon is in a unique position, because if he succeeds in this, he will be the first person in the world to have ever done it 11 times. Not once, not twice, not 2 times, not 3 times, not 10 times, 11 times. Won't that be something? Now, here's something else to think about. We have, in Western Australia, a whole heap of really good sailors. And Jon is at the top of his game, and he's 80 years old. But, here's the thing. A lot of people doubted him. He thought, oh no, this guy's too old. And yet, he's made it all the way to Mauritius already, on his first leg. His next leg goes up through the really rough part of Africa, down through the Cape and out the other side, and I wish him luck, because that's going to be hard yakka. So a couple of weeks back, Jon went to leave port, and he had a going away event, and we were invited by the Fremantle Sailing Club to go and film that. Now I'm a member of the South Coast Yacht Club, but it doesn't matter which club it was that did this, and in this case it was Fremantle Sailing Club, who were the ones that hosted Jon's departure, and they did really good at it. And what you're about to watch is this exact thing.
And with Mr. Sanders, I cannot believe that a guy that age is trying to go around the world again.
So he's 80 years old, isn't he?
Yeah. He's a brave person, because it's hard work on the water. Even though he's not racing, the sea is a pretty unforgiving place, whether it's on the river or out in the open ocean, and you've got to be on the ball all the time. And good luck to him. I reckon he's got a bit of guts going out there.
Grab your passport if you've got it there. So just chase up the Morgan. There we are. This is the certificate. Clearance. Exactly. Please.
They've been very gracious, very liberal with
Aussie
us.
off, all good.
As long as we get him off, throw him overboard as long as he's inside.
Hey, thanks, sir. My pleasure. Safe voyage. Accommodated. Very good of you.
Safe trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
course. Peter Wisby, my godson, Andrew Wisby, Mark Wisby, Sue John, the Commodore, a bit of something nice to him, which I would, of course. I really didn't expect all of this, but it just snowballed in. I've been doing everything I can to avoid everyone, including the media, but it doesn't work. But thank you all very much for coming here, supporting us.
On behalf of the team of people, and there's so many people who've been incredibly helpful and contributed both their time. We've had sponsors who've put in equipment and services, and apart from that, so many people who've been encouraging over this. We're recounting this morning. The plot was hatched about 18 months ago, and most of you will guess it was over a pint of Rogers that John was drinking, not me. And it's Curtin University getting in to be able to pull together the scientific side of it, and as I say, all the sponsors and Minderoo who stepped in at the last moment there and helped us bridge the funding gap. And I'd have to say, with Morgan and Brian and James and everyone else, Annie here who's pulled us on, there's so many. Thank you very much for helping us all pull it together to support him. So you should consider yourself, every one of you, as a part of this team.
Thank you.
We wish you well, John. Safe journey.
I would like to say, Morgan, ginger-headed kid, James, Brian, that'd be nice. Those three guys just work like you wouldn't believe, and I've left with no excuse. I can't say I'm too busy, because these kids just work 3-4 times as fast as I can, and that's not an exaggeration, and do everything, or the boat would still be somewhere down the river.
So follow the voyage. On the website's been transitioned over to under the Minderoo's No Plastic Waste Global one, but the tracking will be on there, so you can follow John. He cannot hide, and every month there'll be vision going up to there, because we've got onboard cameras. He can not only can't hide from the world, he can't hide on the boat. So there will be vision going up every month to show you what life's like on board. So do follow it. Okay, thank you very much. We wish you well.
Cameras on the boat. What do you do? Buy pyjamas? Or what?
We're actually going to go to Spot Bonds for sponsorship, because you guessed it, he sails in his jocks. So as he said, that's why he's thinking about buying pyjamas now. All right, but thank you. So do take some time and say your farewells to John while we finish up the boat, and he'll be on board at 10:30, and the media will be talking to him, and then depart at 11 to join the fleet and then into the harbour.
See me there? So this is Ron Greer, who's the Commodore of Fremantle Sailing Club, and Ron's just going to tell us a little bit about the whole event of John departing today.
Yeah, well, it's been a long process, and John's and his support crew have been at it for some months now. It's been a long journey for them, so it's to have the culmination of John leaving today is sensational. Good weather. So I'm sure the team are all very excited. We at Fremantle Sailing Club in particular are very excited by the fact that we've been supporting John on a number of these little adventures now, and like to think he's going to continue to do another one even perhaps, who knows. But John, fair winds, smooth seas, and we look forward to seeing him back here in the foreseeable future.
And John's on to his 11th. Will that be a world record?
Oh, I'm sure it is. So I don't believe anyone has done that. Of course, John's problem is he's running out of time.
Yeah, he's 80 years old. I mean, I can't imagine someone 80 years old sailing for his 11th circumnavigation.
No, certainly a magnificent achievement. I don't believe anyone will ever better that sort of thing. No, it's it's been a long and illustrious career of Jon sailing. So no, it's sensational. But as I mentioned to him the other day, is this the last? And he said, well, who knows? We'll see.
Fantastic. And Ron, how are people handling it? They've all come out in the crowd, by the looks of it.
Yeah, no, it'll be a big send-off for Jon. It's the weather's right, and people down here, Fremantle Sailing Club in particular, are very keen to sort of give him a fond farewell. And of course, we've got the Harbour Classic on today, which will include another 20-odd boats, 25 boats. So, no, there should be quite a crowd to see him off. I'm excited by it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Cheers. What you've just seen is Jon with his passport going away, getting customs clearance and so on, and getting the boat ready. And now what we're about to see is, or at least hear, because we didn't quite get, there was too many people around, we couldn't get the footage, unfortunately. But essentially Andrew Forrest is his sponsor, and Andrew talks about plastics, because what Jon is doing is he's going around the ocean as he's going around the world. He is collecting plastics for science. And it's that project that inspired Andrew Forrest to sponsor Jon Sanders and his crew into getting the boat ready and rewrapping it with the right logos and so on, and getting it back in the water within a week. 1 week, that's all they had. And they managed to do it. And anyway, so Andrew talks a bit about what it's like to collect rubbish and how our oceans are becoming really polluted with the world's plastics. So it's a very important matter. Have a listen.
We've produced about just shy of 6 billion tonnes of plastic in the last few decades, and 90+% of that is in the environment, and most of that will make its way into the oceans because stuff flows downhill, gravity. So we have to stop it now, and the petrochemical companies are increasing their production of plastic from fossil fuel by many times to try and get in before it cuts out, and that'll be truly dangerous to the people of Fremantle, the people of Western Australia, and the people of the world.
Can I ask how you're feeling? Do you feel the pressure of this, having this extra job for you to do?
No. Andrew being here makes me feel better. A relief. Can I go?
Jon Sanders himself.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks, team. Cheers.
Do you want to get some?